Hey Nate, how's it going? Did you happen to watch a 3-part series on BBC One called I Bought a Rainforest? If not, I've linked in the doodly what below. It tells the story of a wildlife cameraman who buys a patch of the rainforest and then travels out there for a year to try and save it, or do the best he can to save it. I would recommend this if you're looking for a good TV show to watch over the summer, because it's really interesting. He raises some really interesting points, he does it in a very eloquent manner, and he's a very likeable character. One of the first things that struck me with the title is that I find the idea that a guy needs to personally own a part of the rainforest before he'll start protecting it quite strange. I appreciate that this was necessary for the structure of the TV show, and without it, it would be somewhat perplexing. To be entirely honest, I take my hat off to the guy who sold him a piece of land in the first place. Was it even his to sell? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? The TV show documented a family that live on the land and need to illegally log the land for money, essentially, so they can survive. And it was a really, really interesting, heartwarming story of how this man's family have lived on this land for generations. Heartwarming in a strange way, because it's difficult to empathise with someone who's destroying the rainforest, but it's interesting in that you get both perspectives and it really lets you see the other side.
I suppose I knew Ilias by reputation before I knew the man, and so the first sort of encounters with him, I was always scared, I suppose. Why? Looking back at it now. But yeah, the more I've got to know him, the more I like him. He's a good guy. One of the things I think I've learned about the rainforest is that all the bastards that are destroying it, every single one of those bastards I've met are nice people, and not bastards at all.
After nearly a year in Peru, Charlie has finally realised that the way to protect his land is to invest in people.
Initially, Charlie sets out to detail that the guy who is illegally logging the rainforest is the bad guy, because he's bought this piece of land, this other guy, he's coming in and illegally logging it and damaging it, and that's the problem. However, as the show draws on and develops, the camera's focus is sort of shifted from him being the bad guy to us Western scum being the bad guy, who desire all this illegally logged wood for bizarre things like wooden flooring, wooden doors, wooden hats, wooden spikes, wooden fucking dildos, I don't know. To be entirely honest, it would be completely unreasonable for someone like me who lives about 15 miles away from an oil refinery, complaining and being in uproar about this brilliant and beautiful natural wonder being destroyed, when we are all personally responsible for a much larger, much more beautiful, or as beautiful, natural wonder being destroyed. We all are responsible for this. We all drive to work, and despite trying to cut down on our damage to the environment and ecosystem, like right now I'm aware this computer that I'm filming this on is taking up a shit ton of power that it doesn't need. The world would be a better place if I didn't do this, essentially, wouldn't it? And you, viewer watching this, hey Nate, again, your computer's eating up power, you will commute to work every day, eating up energy and petrol, and we're pumping it out of the ground, and it's destroying the world. So to conclude, I really like the TV show, and it was fantastic at raising awareness of just how bad the logging is. However, generally, if you want to try and save the world, you don't have to go on a jolly and fly halfway around the world to some random patch of land to go, ooh, look at the trees being cut down, ain't it awful, when you could do something right here, right now, to try and make the world better. So see you next week, dude, where I'll review the new episode of Top Gear, where they showcase the most inefficient car in the world yet.